My name is Rita Wackler, and I'm the HRIS specialist at Storyblok. And I'll be going over the survey results that of the survey that we sent out to our network. So let's get started. So the first thing, let's do some demographics of the respondents. So we got 19 countries represented in our survey results. And also, let's see the job sector. Most were from IT and development, but we also have some from sales, talent, marketing, and finance. As far as their job level, the majority were mid-senior and associate, and then years of experience, which usually has a high correlation with the job level. Most people have 1 to 5 years and 6 to 10 years of experience. And the final piece of demographic information is whether or not they pursued a STEM degree. It was about 50-50, about half the women did. And okay, the next few, I'm just going to show you the results. I won't talk too much about these first two questions. So the first one, have you ever felt that you were not treated equally at work because of your gender? And overwhelming majority, 68%, yes. 14.9% not sure, and then 17% said no. And do you think tech events targeting women are exclusionary? And the majority again, no, yes, 13% and 70%. So just not sure. So now we're going to get into more like long form answers. And so let's get started. So what first sparked your interest in working in the tech industry? So first, childhood. So a lot of women indicated video games, home computers, siblings, and parents that sparked their interest. And then those that indicated interest from adulthood, they mentioned like money, remote work opportunities, and flexible hours. And the third group that didn't really mention childhood or adulthood, they just said, hey, I'm curious about tech. I'm fascinated with technology and especially the rise of the internet. And then how did these women get into tech? So really similar to those who were interested from childhood, there was that youth determination. Hey, I'm going to study this and I'm going to work in tech. And then another group, they were just suggested by someone, like a family member or colleague. They're like, hey, you should apply for this job, or why not apply for this position? And they did, and they ended up really liking that job in tech. And the third group, they just decided to study it. So not necessarily an interest in childhood, but as a teenager or as an adult, they decided to study it. And now they're working in tech. And then, okay, now we're going to go back to some questions where I'm not going to say too much. I'm just going to show you the results. So on the left-hand side, have you experienced hiring managers underestimating your potential? So hiring manager, whether male or female. So let's see what they said. So the majority said no. Well, there still was a large response. We got 42% said yes. So then on the right-hand side, we're going to look at specifically male colleagues underestimating your potential. And this one has a much different response. The overwhelming majority, 74% said yes, and then 26% said no. And okay, two more where I won't say too much. So have you experienced a gender gap when it comes to earnings? And so the majority, they're not sure. And then 38% yes, and 19% no. And then do women need to pretend to be someone else to be successful? Women in tech. And the majority no. 17%, they're not sure. And 13% said yes. And let's move back to questions where it was more long form answers, more data to talk about. So what do you think needs to be done for women to have more opportunities in the tech sphere? So we had two groups here. Let's go. Exposure and education, as well as awareness and representation. So they're a little bit different, but they are highly connected. So like exposure and education about technology from a young age, but also as adults, letting women know about coding camps or other programs that they might be interested in to further their career in tech, but also with their awareness and representation. So letting young girls and women know that a career in tech is a viable option for them. This can be done by real or fictional means. So, for example, in school textbooks or children's TV shows, just showing female programmers or showing female IT support, or in real life, inviting current women in tech to speak at schools, to speak at workplaces, to say, hey, I'm a woman in tech. I love my job. Come join me. So let's go to the next question. And what advice would you give to women overall entering the tech field? So we've got three main groups here. The first one, take action, don't wait. So for example, don't wait to be 100% qualified for a job. Just apply. And then the other one is don't wait for other women to pave the way. You do it. The second piece of advice was to find an ally or an advocate. This can be a colleague, a mentor, or even a friend or family member that is committed to standing up for you when others doubt you, or when imposter syndrome sets in and you're doubting yourself. That person is there to remind you of your talents and your skills. And then the final piece of advice was support, don't compete, lift each other up, support the women around you. And now let's go on to our final question here. What motivates you every day to keep going, to keep moving? So the first group of people, they mentioned other people, and within this group, it was kind of split. Some people mentioned other people within their work. They had really great colleagues lifting them up, and then the other people mentioned they work to support their family. They do it for their family. And let's see, the next group, just a fascination and interest in tech. The women are motivated because they like their work. And then that last group was being the role model that they didn't have. So they keep going because they know young girls are looking up to them. And yeah, please check out our social media platforms. In the next days, weeks, and even months, we'll be sharing more results because there definitely was not enough time to share. Thank you so much.